All right, folks, let's come on in and have a seat. We're going to go over some news and information that I definitely would like to share with you in between doing all the other things. We want to talk about the GOP position on Hegseth acted within his authority. Committee Chair Senator Roger Wicker of Missouri stepped forward to defend Hegseth, Pete Hegseth, of course, arguing that his choice to share sensitive war planning materials versus via Signal is the encrypted app, but not government messaging app, was, quote, within his authority, a symptom of outdated Pentagon systems, not misconduct. And according to Wicker, the real scandal isn't Hegseth, it's that senior defense officials are, quote, forced to rely on commercial apps because Pentagon tech hasn't kept up. Now, that's according to MSNBC News on congressional reactions to leaked communications and internal Pentagon turmoil. He's actually suggesting that Hegseth needs, quote, better tools, not legal consequences. So the Democrats' position on this is reckless disregard. Anyone else would face prosecution. Ranking member Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island delivered the exact opposite assessment. Now, he says that Pete Hegseth shows reckless disregard for national security, endangered U.S. service members, violated established Department of Defense classification rules, and he didn't mince words either. If any other military officer had sent war plans over Signal, especially to individuals without proper clearance, they would face severe consequences, including prosecution. Now, that's according to his own statements on MSNBC. And his comments suggest a growing bipartisan appetite for formal investigation, if not legal action. Now, here's what Hegseth actually sent on Signal, and they're calling it Signlagate. I think it's hilarious. According to internal communications reviewed by reporters, classified or sensitive operational military plans were sent using Signal. Distributed using Signal, not an approved Department of Defense platform. Okay. Sent to at least some individuals without proper clearance. That was also done. Now, this alone would violate DoD communications and classification tools. And let me tell you why this violates Pentagon regulations. So there's Department of Defense has communications rules. It's what they call ComSec, security, communications. Secure government authorized systems were not used. Verify clearance for every recipient that was going to be looking at said content. And traceable chain of custody for operational plans. They weren't handled and they weren't followed. Using Signal, especially when sending war plans outside the clearance chain, crosses multiple legal and regulatory lines. And so why this isn't a tech problem, let's talk about that real quick. Even if the Pentagon systems are outdated, modernization problems do not justify misusing other commercial apps. That's not what this is about, right? Intent does not erase legal violations, but they'll tell you that it was so that they can look out for their homeboy. Unauthorized sharing of war plans has triggered past Espionage Act changes or charges, rather. And experts note that if this involved anyone lower in rank, consequences would be immediate and they would absolutely be severe. And I would have to agree with that. Now, multiple reports describe a Pentagon culture that prioritizes personal loyalty over procedure, informal back-channel communication over secure systems, side chats replacing formal briefings, rules being optional if you're in the president's inner circle. As one congressional aide actually told reporters, in this Pentagon, quote, the only clearance that matters is whether you're friends with the suspect, end quote. So this isn't a policy disagreement using Signal. This is a crack in the foundation of congressional oversight. Now, what this split signals is a crisis of confidence between Congress and the Pentagon, a potential bipartisan investigation into Hegseth's conduct, legal exposure for Hegseth, possibly severe, uncertainty inside the military chain of command, and a challenge to Trump's national security leadership. So if more evidence emerges, even Republican allies are going to be forced to reassess their stance. So no matter how this shakes out, Signalgate is now more than a leak. It's a test of how far political loyalty can bend legal norms and whether Congress still has teeth in overseeing the Defense Department. Do they? And how much risk is the U.S. military absorbed through unauthorized sharing, doing it this way? Whether national security leadership can be trusted during escalating global tension? See, that's my concern. Like, you might as well just put it on Facebook. Go ahead. Especially with everything that I've just released. If you're on Meta, you actually saw a post that I did of an ex-CIA spy actually kind of telling us what we already knew, right? We absolutely do have some concerns because you're basically saying, hey, we're over here. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? All right, you guys, for more news and information that you can use about this Signalgate and anything else that's going on, head over to brownstoneworldwide.com. Come on back. We're going to be talking a little bit more about what else is happening in the news. And Cityscape Radio is available with those sounds you'll remember from this time of the year, as well as Brownstone Living Magazine, using that QR code that is on the screen to get the November issue before December actually drops with me on the cover. We'll see you around.